Hello there and welcome to Solforge Friday Week 4. This is Marshall from Steam Game Fans. This week we play our first live opponent. Okay, so let's get started. We're playing against a Steam friend named WalkingEye. We play against friends when we do these demos because we want it to go quick and we don't want anybody taking long breaks. That makes editing difficult. So thank you again, WalkingEye, for coming and playing and showcasing your deck with us. What we have here is our Arcflight Squadron deck. We now have 3 of those Arcflight Squadrons, so thank you to whichever developer has decided to grant those to us. Or it's I know it's supposed to be random, but it does seem amazing. That's the first legendary we got, and we did a card spotlight on it, and now we've got 3 of them in the deck, which is the max amount. So that's really great. Now we've played it, and we've immediately been outclassed by the Keeper of the Damned and the Grimgaunt Predator. We play a Battle Tactician to attempt to get more value out of the Arcflight Squadron. Of course, we play our free robot off of it, but even when battling here, we're not going to do great. So something to mention about WalkingEye is I don't know that I've ever beat him in a game, even on my paid account. He's a very good player and builds very good decks. So you'll see we've played an Echo Wisp, but a ping of 1 damage would really put us in a bad situation there. Instead, I think what ends up happening here is he moves it. Yep, he moves it to above the Battle Tactician, and makes sure that his Keeper of the Damned places another one wherever he'd like with the regenerate ability or the place a new card after a card dies ability. It's a really neat card. The Echo Wisps on that side, that means he's also got access to Utera, meaning he's fast and deadly with Utera and Necrium. So what we're doing here is we're going to trade on the left side, and we're going to ostensibly trade on the right side. He's still going to outclass us by 2 cards almost immediately. We'll keep both of ours alive if we're lucky, but right now, we're playing catch-up, and that's bad news, because when all 4 of these creatures potentially die, that Grimgaunt Devourer gets big, and the reaction, of course, for us is going to be kill it, kill it, kill it. There were better ways. I think there are better ways that we kill it here than maybe what we're gonna end up doing, but we're gonna go ahead and put the Battle Tactician and the Arcflight Squadron to attempt to get some real value out of the free robots. Again, we just traded for creatures. Now we've got this Grimgaunt Devourer at 11-9, and we see immediately that that was certainly a misplay. We should not have left that uncovered. So we're still at 100 to 100, but that's getting ready to change by 11%. I like to think of these life totals in percentages, considering that it's 100. 11% is a lot. If somebody took 11% of your paycheck, you would not be very happy. So what we're going to be doing is we have the iconic War Charger, which will survive barely, and we'll the other one, fighting the Dark Shaper Savant should do all right. But once again, we beef his Grimgaunt Predator, and we put very little damage through. We get 7% to his 11%, so I'm not too happy with that trade-off. If he sacrifices his Grimgaunt Predator to deal with my Battle Tactician, however, I'm going to be very happy. One thing about the Dark Shaper Savant is once he levels this, he can start giving -3 to our creatures. That's horrible. I mean, that it really can be. The Savants are overpowered. I've heard, and again, this is not fact, but I've heard that they are going to be reducing them back to their 4/5 power and toughness rather than their 4/6. But as we all know, rumor is rumor, so until I see it happen, I won't report that as fact, certainly. What we're doing here is trying to outclass his creatures somewhat, trying to get some more damage through, and we're sort of catching up here. I like that. We have 87 to 81. The percentages are starting to even out, and we've got him outclassed on creatures as we thought. And now we see 2 Echo Wisps, which do a substantial amount of damage to both of our powered creatures currently. Excuse me, I took a drink. One of the things about the Arcflight Squadron that I find frustrating is often there's enough power to kill it. In this case, that's not so. Yet the play we're going to get off of it is going to be a fairly small scout drone. The reason we want to use the scout drone, and we did use a free play from the Arc Flight Squadron for the scout drone, but it's actually free on its level 2 and 3 levels. So once again, we have lost a creature to the Grimgaunt Predator, and while we're at 4-1, I'm not real comfortable with that because he's got 13 power in that one, which is pretty much equal to what I was putting through unblocked. So now we're at 77 to 87%. He's got a 10% lead. We have a pretty nasty situation overall with that Grimgaunt Predator there. So we're going to place the 7/7 Steel-Forged Avatar, which gets that gets +1 for each other alien card in your hand. And we've misplayed. While the Savants are dangerous, 17 damage coming through is unacceptable at this point. And it's attacking, and we have no way to put enough damage through, and that's a major misplay because we absolutely could have killed both the Savant and the Grimgaunt Predator had we played differently, and we've misclicked, and we haven't blocked the 17. So that is pretty much the worst situation we could have had happen there. We've got an 83 to 60, and we have some recovering to do. Fortunately, we do have a level 3 Arc Flight Squadron and a level 3 Alloyan General in tow. However, we have to deal with these very large creatures immediately. 2 Savants means a level 1. Yeah, here we go. A level 1, which removes my creature. He uses one of the Dark Shaper Savants to give -3 there and -3 to my Sparkbot. And we're now taking 12, as well as now an empty board versus 4 creatures worth upwards of 40 damage. That is just disgusting. I'm sorry, just about 40. So we're going to play the Alien General, and of course we're going to try and get some value. We've misplayed again. We should have played the Steel-Forged Avatar immediately and gotten the most value out of that as possible. I'm not sure it would have mattered. I think we had to put that in front of the Grimgaunt Predator with its 21 regardless, and it would have been 15, I think, at max. So we've ostensibly lost control of this game. You know, he's got a free 19 on our 42% right now. That's almost 50% of our remaining life total, which is absolutely just devastating. And there it is. That's certainly his game. You know, if we had an Echo Wisp right now and a level 3 Steel Shaper Savant, we might be able to skirt something out. You know, I really don't see a situation where we've misplayed. We covered, as you see there, we've covered our middle slot. Now we have a level 2 Battle Tactician, which we can't even put online. We've really borked this game up. Okay, so good game, WalkingEye, and thank you for coming out and playing. Really appreciate it. Like I said, I've never beat him that I remember, so it's very possible that he's undefeated against me. WalkingEye did want me to mention that there are some great tournaments on both the Solforge forums and Reddit. Those are generally community run, I believe, and there's some great folks running those. So I'll try and play in a couple of them and see how they go, and I'll post links to the ones that I plan on playing in if you guys would like to come play. But thanks again for coming. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.